So come on in, take a sip. It's wind down, it's Tuesday. I'm sure we have a lovely grid to hop into. And I went ahead and just let myself succumb to this one wine that I've been looking at in the grocery store here. It's a small one that's usually on my way home from work. And today I got off of work a little late. I was doing some training with some of our young medical professionals, trying to get them ready for their new life as they're moving over here and getting ready to practice medicine. And, I just love being part of that, from the patient safety and quality side of the house. And so I thought, just grab a wine in here inside the little netto and see what we can find here. But this is one that's been calling me for some time. It's just Unser Hauswein. Unser Hauswein, that's all it is, our house wine. And that's the name for all of them, right? So that's just the name of the brand. This is our house wine. And apparently this family's been around for about 500 years. Like I said, there's no date. The artwork is like it's written on a blackboard, right? The old school kind with chalk, right? On a slate. And it just says that it's a quality German wine and that this is a dry red wine. So Rotwein Tolkien. And I'm like, I just got to give this a chance because it was €6.99. And I'll see what we got here. But it's just beautiful. Could see slightly some minerality on the nose, right? Kind of an earthiness there. Very nice. And, mild tannins. It's soft. It is a dry red, but it's very smooth. Finish is lovely. And if you run across this wine and you got €7 or €6.99 to be exact, because there's no sales tax, yeah, grab it. This wine will go with anything outside of breakfast cereal. I'm just saying, you might be able to make it work with oatmeal. But who would want to do that? I don't know, but maybe some of you do. But what a nice little wine. I can tell you right now, this might become that daily bottle that I just have in the wine fridge. Probably get a couple of cases of it because it would be great to just serve at that multi-person type of get-together that you have, right? You don't want to run out. But this is a great little wine. I absolutely love it. And sometimes the best packages are found in the smallest amounts. So meine neue Lieblings, my new favorite. Okay, so let's hop into our grid and see what we've got here today. And let's see. So we have a Tuesday, May 6th construction by Enrique, Henestroza, Anguiano, edited by Will Shorts. I can't wait. Let's hop into this Tuesday, see what we got. So First Nations group. Well, we never say like, but which continent? And it's almost always Cree. Anybody else notice that? It's almost always Cree. So crossword construction, beginning with a C, 5 letters. Maybe a craft. Harvest could be to reap. So yeah, maybe it is a craft. And that's true. In the New York Times, they pay you fairly handsomely when you put a puzzle in, and it's accepted for publication. But there are people, that's how they make a living in the UK. We do the Guardian grid on this channel as well, and you get to know the setters pretty well after some time, You just get to know them, like Vulcan yesterday. And it feels like we all know who Ludwig is now because of the new detective show that we can get on BritBox. So just kind of fun, right? Settle as a debt could be to repay. And what a great life that would be to have a job as a crossword setter, or a constructor, as we would say here in the States, or there in the States. I think it's a setter here in Europe. They outrank Viscounts, and that would be Earls. Well, it would be quite a few things. But what we had there, let's just go with the Earls. The literary postscripts. I guess it could be epilogues, but not a spelling I'm used to using. The revolution will not be televised. Poet. That was, let's It's Gil Scott Heron. Whew. It's been a while since I've looked into that, but I think we got the first name right. Will you let me, please? Well, is it may I or can I? I don't know. Let's see. Actress Cicely of The Help. Cicely Tyson. Lost her a few years back. She was just amazing. So I guess this is going to be a can I. We've got that N there. And I think, yeah, school with the cheer. Go Tigers. We LSU. So, yeah, I think we got Gil Scott Heron there. But orange colored fruit pastry. Looks like it's an apricot something. I got 4 letters, maybe a tart. I don't know. I've never been one much for pastries anyway, even when I was eating that type of thing. Group that votes together is going to be a block. So, mistaken logical reasoning, of course, the fallacy. Like some ales and health bars, I'm assuming Odie. Like assuming like my horse's snack, Odie. Living life openly in a way could be out. It might be treated with a kiss and a Band-Aid. Well, that's only if it's a Super Friends Band-Aid or whatever the latest thing is. I'm aging myself with that remark, aren't I? Garment with cups. I think we're talking about a brassiere. So, Bacall of How to Marry a Millionaire. I thought I saw Loren Bacall. Thought I saw Loren in a car jam. I loved The Clash. The Clash, man, what a group. Oh, I'll never forget. I think I was 11 or 12. And a friend of mine got 2 copies of the Combat Rock cassette tape for Christmas. And he got 2 Pyromanias on LP. So I got one of the LPs and the Combat Rock. I listened to Pyromania. It was good. My mom didn't like it though, because she thought it was creating an issue with me. Matches and gasoline. And you know, it's called being a 12-year-old boy. But, sorry, Mutti. You were right to do what you did. So I wasn't allowed to listen to that record for a while, but I'll tell you what, I did listen to Combat Rock over and over and over. It was an amazing piece of art. Gosh, yes. Betting recklessly at the poker table. I don't do this kind of thing. So maybe on tilt. Denny's competitor could be an IHOP. I don't want to. I don't know what else it could be. Just do it, and others probably an ad slogans. Might as well address this while I have it here. Ad slogans. Ooh, boy. Okay, so I'm putting it on tilt here, and just a quick check. Snack cakes with swirls could be ho-hos. And, okay, I think we're good here. Try to stay in order and go clockwise. Moe, Larry, and Curly. You know, I grew up on the Stooges, as did my Mutti. Well, didn't everybody really? In that Generation X and back. I mean, like, I don't really know that we had a lot of new anything to watch other than maybe He-Man or something. My Pretty Pony. Listing of top tunes. Maybe the Hit Parade? But, it seems like everybody's got their favorite Stooges. And it was always Moe and Larry. Right, so that was a given. But I think my favorite third Stooge was Shemp. I don't know, man, I just liked his hair, I think. He had great hair. He did have great hair. If I had hair, I'd have Shemp hair. If I could choose what hair I had. Layered haircut could be a shag, which is more of a Moe bowl cut, right? Much ado about nothing. So we just talking about the saying. We don't have anything capitalized except for the much there. Interesting. A rising tide lifts all boats. That's right. Fancy that. How about G? Do we have another Central Plains tribe? The Oto making an appearance today. And yeah, I think we've got Gil Scott in here. Finnish telecom giant would be Nokia. My very first cell phone, a Nokia. Kudos at a poetry slam, and those would be snaps, baby, snaps. You dig? Liking it. Very cool. I did a few poetry slams back at a place in Fort Worth, Texas when I was a teenager called, oh gosh, I forgot the name of it. No, it was the IHOP, actually. It was, yeah, I think it was called the IHOP. I don't remember. It was right there off of University and 7th Street, or Barry. Can't believe I don't remember that anymore. It's been years. Samosa tidbits. You were probably talking about peas, maybe? System of hereditary titles and noble ranks, much like the Earls of Three Down. And I think we're talking about a peerage. And so, design deet could be a spec. Now we'll check spec. Fruits often poached with cinnamon, maybe pears. And disposable coaster at a bar. Bring to 212 Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh, can you imagine there? Whoa, wow. Okay, so I made it boil, I do believe. And so then, is this an E? Towering Tolkien creatures are indeed Ents. And I don't know. I've never heard of this beer something. I don't even know what you'd call that. Just hell, I mean, we call them coasters, right? You know, but I don't know what. R2 response. I'm not. I don't know what this is. A beer disposable coaster. Doppler device. Okay, well, now, yeah, good thing I might have a shot at it just because of the Downs fashion sense could definitely be style. A beer mat? I've never heard of a beer mat, ever. Raison d'être. Raison d'être. Yeah. What is your reason for being? Quelle est ton raison d'être? What is your reason for being? That's a good question. Soccer score goal. Okay, so carnival confection or when reparsed. Reparsed. Should be interesting. A hint to what appears 3 times in this puzzle. Since we've got... I see the 3 sets of circles and we've only done one. We've only got one group, which fell under apricot tart and fallacy. And then we still got 2 more groups to get through. But I'm assuming we're talking about cotton candy. So, product of the Camellia sinensis plant. I think we're talking about THC. Though, maybe not. No, I don't know. Though, could be albeit. Albeit. Oh, T. I was thinking THC for a second. They need a push to get started. Pedals? Still undecided to be determined. Copa Mundial shout, ole. Yeah, I think we got pedals there, so. Tank top. Tank top, I don't, it's interesting too. Something cap? None of it's true. Lies, maybe? Lies. Tank top. I can't even imagine what that could be. A tank top. Okay, well, hopefully we'll figure that out. Or I just might be doomed by a Tuesday grid, and that would be comedy, right? Oh, my ego, it might be tragic, but that's like walking into an open sewer and dying by accident. That's called comedy, right? What did Mel Brooks say? If I get a paper cut, that's tragic. If I walk into an open sewer and die by accident, that's comedy. About right. Sudden surge. How about a Maybe a spate. Gotta check it, of course. I mean, that's not easily duped person ending in a P. How about let's go with a chump? Well, we got a pretty tricky little old thing here. We probably got sui generis, so head in the clouds could be spacey. Spinner of silk could be a spider. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and fill in this rest of the way. So, Gil Scott. He's got the Affordable Care Act. What's up, Doc? Totally hamper could be to stymie. Well, I'll be honest with you, my dear friends. I hope we make it through this thing. This is a crazy one. More in Mexico City would be muss. Summer drink suffix. I think maybe an aid. Michelangelo, marble, masterpiece, David. Pre-DVD format, maybe VHS. Yeah, okay. So, dairy product with curds would be cottage cheese, maybe. And let's see, flexible card in blackjack, the ace. It's a 1 or 11. Good luck. Looks that might send chills down one's spine. Some got 3 letters, maybe. Looking at the other 2 circled bits there, probably a C and a Y. So maybe icy stairs. If we're keeping it in there. So a tank top is a gas cap. That's beyond clever. I love it. OT, high point. Well, we got a Mount and then an SI. So I guess we're not talking about overtime. We're talking about the Old Testament, perhaps. So maybe Mount Sinai. Ocean, poetically. Okay. Worked up, say. Maybe mad? I don't know. Dad in Korean. That would be an appa. Worked up, say. Yeah, mad, probably. Member of the South Asian diaspora. He's Desi. So I guess we're mad. And we got an ape here, chest beating. So probably the main. Gosh, I don't know. I'm a bit of a poet. I've published a few even. I don't think I've ever used the word main. I don't remember reading it. That's fine. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's. My mind's not ready for this Tuesday. This is a tricky little grid. I'm loving it. Desired effect of a plumping gloss. Now I was wondering what these could be. I guess we're talking about pouty lips. Rhymes over a backing beat would be raps. Like some committees, ad hoc. Well, I just hope I haven't fat fingered anything. But words before believe or declare. I do. And we got Christina Ricci. So how did we do, Bob? Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at this, though, because so clearly we've gotten cotton and then a CY. So a cot CY in these 3 places. And then this clue says Carnival Confectioner when reparsed, a hint to what appears 3 times in this puzzle. Reparse. So it could be caught. We got caught on top of C and Y. Oh, caught on C and Y. Caught on candy. Clever. Okay, Enrique Henestroza Anguiano. This was a fabulous Tuesday. You threw me for quite a loop here on this one. Some of these answers were just not... We're talking Thursday stuff here. Some of them bordering into Friday, Saturday, and but yet it had a lovely, lively gait. Maybe mall walking speed. Maybe between that and a trot. It wasn't an amble, that's for sure. But it was nice. This was a fantastic grid, so very well done. We'll bring down our bannière d'adieu, and we'll go ahead and let everyone go. I just want to say I'm still blown away by the number of surprise subscribers. Surprise subscribers, it feels like, coming on board. So happy to have you here. I really am, and thank you oh so much to all of you who've been around since day one. It's just so nice to grow the community, and we're growing it just in a beautiful way. Things just coming together, so thank you all so very much. I am truly touched. Until we see you tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin. Just try to be kind to strangers as much as possible. And we'll see you on the morrow. Until then, be safe. Cheers.